amazing guest speaker on the call tonight. I can see her. She's looking good. So
I decided to put some makeup on for you all.
oh.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Laura. So I know that some of the team know a little bit about you. I know that I've been raving about you, and I know some of the team have also been getting on your personal development, like your 9:30 a.m. calls as well, which we've been doing. So we know some of us know a little bit about you, some don't. But so yeah, it'd be amazing to obviously tonight to hear your story, because you're such an inspiration, and your journey and how you got started. So we'll get into that, and then be amazing to hear some tips, and we'll go through some amazing questions. So Laura,
Brilliant.
I'll hand over to you.
Hello, everyone. And it is so nice to be on this call. I have to say it's a real privilege. So thank you for having me on. So hello. Let's get the energy. And it's the 1st of April, and it's really nice to be on this call and asked. And I really do mean that. And I want to start off by saying that to me, Amy is an inspiration. And from the first time I met Amy, she was nothing but kind to me. And you are really lucky to have such an authentic leader and someone who's so kind. And I'm sure you all know this, but I think sometimes it's really nice to get that reminder. And I know from my team too, and it just really is important to remember that we're all in this journey together, and you really are lucky to have a great leader who's so kind and genuine, and who really shows up the way Amy does. So thanks for having me on, and please feel free to put anything in the chat this evening. It's funny because I've been doing this business now for 5.5 years nearly, and still get nervous, even though like I'm coming on this call and I want to share my journey in this short space of time, and I want to give you some tips. So please feel free to ask me any questions, and so show lots of love in the chat, because I love that. I love a bit of interaction. And I decided to put on some makeup for you because you wouldn't want to see me an hour ago, because with this whole quarantine situation, I've run out of foundation. I'm like at the end of my mascara. But yeah, my journey is that I've been with the company now for 5.5 years almost. And my background is I'm a beautician. So I moved over to Ireland when I was 17 by myself. I've always been really ambitious. And I opened my own salon at 23. And I realised before jumping on this call, and today as well, and I've been doing up a little post about it, that I've been 10 years an entrepreneur today, because I opened my business today 10 years ago, and I'm really proud of that. So I opened my own beauty salon. I suppose the reason why I did that was because I always wanted to kind of have this freedom. I wanted this independence. I had this vision of having this really good income and being able to always be in control. And I suppose I had the salon for 6 years. I loved it. And I built up a really good name for myself and the reputation. And I had 5 staff. It built very, very quick, and I loved it. But it consumed my life. So for the first year, 2 years, I was working 6 days a week at least. I was doing long hours, the weekends and the late nights that come with the beauty industry. And for the first few years, you got on with it, and I didn't really have much of a life. But then after that, I kind of realized like, this is kind of tough here. And then, we really grew quickly. So I sold my salon 3 years ago. So I'd say I was about 2.5 years having my salon when I came across this business. I'd never heard of the products or business before. And I was your typical skeptical beautician, because I was someone that never took anything. And I loved the fact it was whole food, it was fruits and vegetables. But I just came across the product. I started the product because I had insomnia and low energy, and I liked the idea it was natural and it was just food. So I started to take the product. Never was going to join the business. I didn't even think about that. That was not on the cards for me. I was all about my traditional business. It was my baby. I'd worked so hard, and I was genuinely one of these people that did not have time. So, maybe you were one of these people before you joined. Maybe you've just joined and you're on this call, or maybe that you're constantly getting, I don't have time. It's all about a priority. Everyone has time to do this business. We've just got to show them how good it is, that they can do it in 15 minutes of their day if they really want to. And it's not that they don't have time, they just don't see yet what this could be for them. So when someone says to me they haven't got time, I know they have time. So it's like, what do they need from me? What's their pain point that I can help them with? So for me, when I started on the products, I just loved it and I knew people needed it. So the reason why I joined the franchise was actually because I knew people needed it. I knew people every day are going to the health shop and they're going to the Boots and Tesco's and they're getting multivitamins, and people were coming into my beauty salon and getting bags of stuff, like getting a little bit of this and a little bit of that from the health shop. And I knew that I could offer them something that would be really much better. So that's why I joined, really. I joined to help people. I joined because I love the products. It was my passion for the products. So what I'd say to everyone is, you know this, but the reason why the business works is because the product works. And that's what I'd say to everyone. That is my foundation. Like the business works because the product works. It's amazing. So when your passion for the products shines like that, it's just incredible. And that's, you know, always, if you're trying to recruit, your passion for the product needs to shine. It needs to beam. It needs to come through your eyes. People can tell genuine enthusiasm for the product. And that's what, you know, I had. So then I joined the business, and all I wanted starting off was a couple of €100 a month. That was all I seen for me. That would have been like great. And at the time, like, my salon was doing well, but I always needed an extra income. I definitely always wanted an extra income because, you know, sometimes there was more outgoings than ingoings. And even though like we were really busy and doing really well, you know, and again, that's another point actually, because you might be looking at someone right now who's self-employed or someone who's really successful. And like anyone from the outside looking at me in the salon that I had and the name, like, you know, would have thought like I was doing really, really well. And I was doing well, but I needed more. And I had no time. I had no freedom. I couldn't take time off when I wanted to because everyone wanted me. And yes, it's what you create and the way you build your business, but this is what the constant struggle was. I had no freedom, I had no time. So you might be needing someone, but again, it's about that pain point. And that's why even throughout 5.5 years and the ups and downs I've had with this business, I never gave up because this business is in my heart. And I knew if I don't do this, like, what else is there going to be? So even when things got tough for me, sometimes this was in my heart because I knew that, you know, what are the other options here? I'm going to go back and work the late nights and the weekends, and this is what my life is going to be in 20 years. So, and also you might know someone that is like already a successful business person. They might have lots of money, but they might not have time. So again, it's like, find out people's pain points, ask questions, find out about their life. So I joined for €200, loved the product. And then I remember as well, and you might relate to this, I remember Lisa Hamilton, she'd introduced me to the products and business, my mentor, and she said to me, Laura, you know, these are different positions. She was at National Marketing Director. And I was like, that's nice for you. And maybe you're on this call tonight and you might even be in that space, okay? And you're like, that's nice for you. I just don't see that. And you might want it. I truly don't believe that there's anyone that doesn't want NMD. Might not be for the title, but why would you not want to help people? Why would you not want to have that kind of income and stability and actually be able to build that for you and your family and say to yourself, I did that? And so, you know, I don't believe anyone doesn't want NMD. It's just you might not realize it yet, because I don't think anyone shouldn't not want it. But for me, I was looking at Lisa and I was like, that's nice for you, but I never believed that I could do that. But what I would say is when I started building my business, and I just did it. Like, I just took the action, and people were saying to me, but Laura, what are you doing? I just went and done it. And what I would say is I was really coachable. I was really hungry. And I think that's the key word that's the key thing for people. You have to be hungry. And I mean, really hungry for an opportunity and for your life to change. And when I was building to NMD, I was hungry. I really, really was. And I read the book, The Secret, and I went into full self-development. Like, I went into action mode, but like, I was this whole new word of self-development. And Lisa told me about this book that so many people had told me about before, and I never read it. I'm not a big reader usually. And I read the book. And at the time when I started this business, I can honestly say, like, I didn't realize how lonely I was, how down I was. And I was actually in a really bad space. And you have to remember that people don't necessarily join always for the money. Like, you know, maybe you joined for community or because you knew you wanted more, or for the friendships. But I remember looking back when I started this business, and I just split up with a boyfriend at the time, okay? Rewind 5.5 years ago is how my life looked like. Just split up with a boyfriend at the time. It ended, it was quite not a good relationship, got out quickly. I was living in a house that I didn't want to live in. I was renting a room. Okay, so bearing in mind, I had a business that looked really successful from the outside, and I was living in this room, literally renting a room. And I hated the house, and I remember just really wanting to get out. And I used to work like 14-hour days, go home, put my bun hun on, and like get my pajamas on, and I would build my business. And I would build. I'd go home, eat my dinner, and build my business from like 7 to 10 p.m. And it's not saying you have to do that, but I think structure is really, really important. So again, if you want to like really build and you're hungry for this, like block out that time and make that time for you that you can actually build. It could be 1 hour every single night from 9 to 10. That's my building my business. You need to schedule it in. And that's what I did. And then when I read The Secret, I wrote down that I wanted to live in a house in the country, and I wanted to get my own little place, even just like a little cottage, just like somewhere I could rent. But at the time, there was nothing really in my price budget. But long story cut short, with The Secret and with this business, I was able to actually very quickly, within 4 to 6 weeks, attract that. And I moved out of that place that I didn't like, and I had my little place by myself, and I continued to build my business until I was able to build my own, not build my own house, buy my own house 3 years ago, thanks to this business. So that is really kind of a bit about my journey so far, and kind of where I was 5.5 years ago. And, you know, for me, I didn't see any way out. For me, it was only being able to work them hours. And, you know, I'd kind of gotten so into the beauty salon that I didn't see a way out. I never planned a plan B or anything like that. Never thought I'd be national marketing director, but I suppose I really was just hungry. I was coachable. Like absolutely anyone can do it. Like absolutely anyone. I'm not a special person. I was just hungry and I was coachable. And the other thing is I did that in a year. So I went to national marketing director in a year. And that's kind of my journey. So before I keep going on, is there anything else, Amy, you'd like to ask me there?
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I know that in your story you got to NMD like within the year, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then you like your business dropped a bit and things like that. So could you talk to us a little bit about that and how you because obviously right now you and your team are in massive momentum and you're going for IMD, and it's just amazing how, you know, you've turned it around and your mindset and the journey you've been on, because I know you're really passionate about the journey side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got to NMD in a year, and I'd love, you know, please drop a little love heart or something in the chat, because I do love interaction as you're going through. I'd love to see all your faces as well, because then I feel like I'm not talking to myself. So when I got to NMD, like that was really my goal. So what I would say is I had to write a few points down. Like for me, I truly believe, and you can just drop something in the chat if you believe this too, or you feel this, like maybe right now you're at SP or you're at Partner Plus or you're at SD, but like sometimes, you know, we just get like, we self-sabotage, we stay in a position, we doubt ourselves, we feel the fear, we don't believe we'll do it. For me, I just seen an MD and I was like, jump, 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 go, 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 go. And then I got there and then I was like, what's next? So what I would say is I wanted NMD so much, and I believed I was going to do it. And I truly believe you'll always get to a position that you feel worthy of. And I think that's really, really important to highlight that and make a note of that. I really do believe, and I see it in people, and I see self-sabotage, I see self-limiting beliefs, and you know, you will get what you feel worthy of. So for me, I seen NMD, I wanted that, I felt worthy of it. Because I had success before with my beauty salon, I just kind of went into action mode and made it happen. But then when I got there, I honestly took my foot off the gas without realizing it. And the thing is I wasn't prepared for the next step. So it's really, really important right now, no matter where you are, I think, to kind of have that next step and always know and be clear where you're going. Because after NMD, I couldn't see beyond that. That was it. I was like, I've done it. I've done it. Like, I've landed. I've done it. Like, I'm set up. And of course I wasn't. And, you know, the commissions were great. The bonus was great. And I was really happy. And honestly, I just felt content. But I think, honestly, what I had to learn a lot. And the people that get you to a certain position are not going to be the people that get you to the next position. the people that got you to where you are now, if you have team, are not going to be the people that get you to that next position. They might come on the journey with you, but you need new blood all the time. And for me, I fell into management mode. I stopped learning and growing, really, like I thought I was. And it wasn't that I got like ego or anything like that. It wasn't like I just stopped working my business. What I did do, honestly, is that I just fell into management mode, and I started trying to help my team too much, and not recognizing that I needed to bring on new frontline. I wasn't doing the do. I fell into management mode. I was scared, and I honestly did like self-sabotage probably a lot as well. And I had loss of momentum. And then what happened was, one thing after another, like I lost a really good leader, and then someone stopped, and that's fine. All these things that happen, and that's absolutely fine. We can't control that, but what we can control is even better. So there's a lot we can't control with this business, but we actually always have the power to control, a lot more. So what we can do, we can always control what we do, and I wasn't kind of doing that. So within as I suppose 6-8 months, I lost momentum, but with that, I lost a lot of myself within that. I was going through a really hard time in my life. So not only was my business dropping, which is one thing, and if you're in a really good mindset, and again, like drop a comment, or if you relate to any of this, maybe let me know if you've been in the business a while. Has this happened to you? Have you got to a certain point? But then what happened for me was my business started to fall, but then I wasn't in a good place to actually pick myself back up. So fear and doubt and this constant focusing on what I didn't want, and fear, just constant fear set in, and I just didn't feel enough. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel like I was a good leader. And it probably took me a little bit of time to figure all of that out, because I wasn't in a good space, and that is okay. And that's why I am really passionate about it. You go on a journey with this business. I can honestly say, I think I got to a certain point out of just because I'd had success before again with my business, and not because by any means you need to be a business minded to do this, because you don't, but I had just kind of ran with it. But after that, I think for me, I had to learn a lot about myself, and not kind of just putting on a show and just just going for it, but actually learn a lot about myself. So I actually did a life coaching course, and within that time when I was going through some difficulty in my own kind of life and my mindset, and then that really helped me develop as a person. And I've always been a really positive person. I've always really wanted to help a lot of people, but I suffered kind of a little bit with the lack of belief then around that time, and my mindset. So that really helped me and gave me purpose and helped me believe in myself, and it helped me actually heal and do a lot of work. And again, what I'd say to you ladies honestly is that this is a business, but it's so much more than just doing the do. Like, you can send X amount. I could come on this call, right, and I could say do all these messages, and we will get to that, by the way. I could say do this and do that and do this, but you might get off that call and be like, well, I knew all that, and that's fine, and you're either going to do it or you won't. But what's changed? And I think what's really, really important to realize is that you're all on your own personal journey. So just own that, stay in your lane. And that's what I always say to my team, don't look left, right, up, down. Stay in your lane. It's the 1st of April. You can press the restart button today, and you decide, right, how many orders you're going to place, how many team you're going to place, what's your rituals, what's your self-development, what's your diet going to be like, are you going to be on plan? You make them then decisions, and then you just go with that. But also it's the journey that you go on in yourself in regards to your self-belief and your kind of work. And for me, I've done a lot of work on myself and my healing and self-development and stuff like that. And I think a lot of it comes to what you believe and your worth. I really just didn't feel that I was worthy of any more, and I was just a bit stuck in my mindset with it. So what I'd say to you, if you're in that space, then you need to do some work on your mindset, and this business is 80% mindset. So as I said, I could come on and say, right, send all these messages and do this and that, but what's going to shift for you? What is holding you back right now? Is it just that you're not working? Is it this business works for everyone, but I always say this business works when you work. So is it just that you're not putting in the work, you're not putting in the hours? Is it what you're doing? or is it more than that? Because more often than not, it can be more than that, and it's to do with your mindset and how you're showing up and your belief. And you really need to get a very clear goal and know you're worthy of that. So I've had to do a lot of work on myself with that. And that was kind of my journey. And then kind of about a year and a half ago, I made a decision that I was going to rebuild my business. And I mean, like, I made a decision. I was like, right, this is it. And the reason why, ladies, I never give up is because for me, it goes back to this business is in my heart. Like, it's in my heart. So like, it maybe it is for you, but like, what other option have you got? What's your next step? What's your plan B? If you don't make this work, how does life look for you? And I'll say this to you, if I took this business away from you tomorrow, how would you feel about that? Because I do think we can see it as an obligation or an opportunity. So like, we need to really, really be grateful for what we have and really start using it, particularly right now. Like, people need help with their health. People need home-based businesses more than ever. So now is a time to be seen more than ever. Now is the time that people associate you with health, and we really lead from the front more than ever, like with a big torchlight on you, putting out really good content, really good positivity more than ever. So I think I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I made a decision a year and a half ago to rebuild my business, and I've done that. And you know, back at NMD and building for IMD, my pay line went as low, right? So NMD pay line is obviously in Ireland, 48,000 pay line in euro, and it fell, just to give you an idea, ladies, okay, because it's all relevant, okay, before we quickly move on to a few other things. So I went from 48,000 pay line down to nearly, I think it was like 12,000 at one stage. So just imagine that, right? And I've rebuilt that back to NMD again, and I'm on my way to IMD. Now I say that to press upon you that rebuilding stage, okay, that I didn't give up. And so, like, even if you take one message from this, is just do not give up. Like, what other option have you got? And for me, it's freedom, and to know that I can do it. Like, I believe I can do it, and I owe it to myself. And like, if you've never given anything 100% in your life, give it to this business, because it can change your life. And you know, honestly, so far, like, it has changed my life. I've been able to get a new car, I've been able to buy my house, I've been able to have freedom. I sold my salon a few years ago, so I have time freedom, really good income, and the future is brighter than ever. So you know, that's what's possible. But again, it's all relevant. So you might be going, well, I'm SC right now, but you can imagine, right, you're going SC. Imagine that's like going to minus, and then rebuilding it to SC again, and then going up to like NMD. So you should be so proud of yourself. So again, you can do that at any stage. It doesn't matter where you're at. It's about not living in the past and in the excuses, and you can press that button at any stage and just go for it. So Amy, I will finish there if you want to ask me anything else.
Amazing, Laura, and I think a lot of the guys will be able to relate to that, and all of our own little way, because you know, this business is like life, and like everything, you know, it's not just like up and away you go and it's all just plain sailing. That's not what it's about. It's always a journey. There's ups, there's downs, you know, and it's all about how you react to that. So I loved how you spoke about, you know, your mindset, how you know, your personal growth, and it's so important. And yeah, so I love that, and I love the questions that you ask as well, because they really get us all thinking. Like you said, like, what other options have you got, like, if I haven't got this? And I loved how you said, you know, if I took this business away from you tomorrow, like, how would that make you feel? So I just, yeah, really, really good. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
So yeah, tell us, like, what would you say your top tips would be for getting customers?
For customers, I think that number one, it is you have to be a product to the product. And I always say this to my team, and I think, if you know, we talk about this, we inspire healthy living around the world. And you know, it's not enough, I truly believe, to just take the product and post about it. You don't want to sell a product, but you have to always remember, we're not selling here, we're sharing. And you know, people don't really buy into the product, they buy into you. So they want to see what you're doing, your transformation, your journey. Keep it really personal. But I think the main thing is that, you know, it's not enough to just take the captures every day and that's it. It's about the diet, it's about the water, it's about moving the body, and it's not about being perfect. You know, I'm definitely not perfect, but it's about 80-20, and it's about showing, are you inspiring? Like, if I went onto your page now, would I be inspired, and would I know that you take the product? Would I know that I can get it from you? Would I know what it is? Like, you know, would I actually know what you do, and would I be very like inspired by your healthy living? And if I'm not, then that's the first place you start. And that might sound really obvious, but I think the longer we're in the business, the more we complicate it. So it might be really obvious, but just be a product of the product and really live the mission. And when you're on plan and you're really excited and feeling really good and flashing your body with nutrients and like goodness, that's going to shine. And obviously we take the products every day, but I think it's really important to show the journey and show your own personal benefits. Also for me, I think it's really important to be consistent. So again, it's not enough to post about the product like 1 day a week or 2 days a week, sharing it every single day. I personally plan out my social media posts. So I think that's really important, show variety. So again, do I know from your page that there's a children's health study like Healthy Starts? Do I know that the lift products? Do I know that, you know, the shakes? Do I know why you take them? Again, it's about variety, planning out your posts, showing results. For me, I build in a very curious way. So if you actually went onto my page this evening, you probably won't see a whole lot on the product. And Amy will probably tell you that. Like, I don't actually post a whole lot of the product. Do I inspire healthy living? Absolutely. But I show myself and I show my lifestyle. So for me personally, I plan out my posts every week and I keep it curious. I'd never mention, for me, Juice Plus. I don't mention Juice Plus. It's not because I'm like don't want to share it. Juice Plus is because if I have my capsules in my hand and I'm like, these capsules are amazing for my hair, and you see my hair and the capsules, you're gonna be like, what are they? What are them things? And you're gonna want to message me and just find out what they are. Now, lots of people over 5.5 years know that I'm doing Juice Plus, I'm sure, but at the same time, I've lots of new friends every single day. So I build it through curiosity, plan out my posts, results and stories. That's what people want. That's what people buy into. Results and stories. People want to hear a story. So this is my friend Amy. She started the products because of X, Y, and Z. She's now been taking the product. People want to hear a story of like benefits. And as I said, just curiosity. So for me, it's being a product, being consistent. And then I do a lot through my stories. So I do a lot of stories, a lot of polls. I do about 5 to 10 stories every single day at least. And I do a lot of polls as well, and my polls are always 2 positives, so I never have like yes and no. I generally have like PM me or info and defo or whatever it is, 2 positives always. And that's really how I get my orders. And then I do reach out to people as well, so throughout my DMO as well, I am reaching out to people. I think it's really important, like we have to do the work, ladies. Like people aren't gonna, and sorry if there's gents on this call too, sorry, I'm always about the ladies. But you know, people aren't going to just like, you're not going to post something and you're going to get like 3 premium orders. So you have to ask people, are you open? You know, connect with people. And you know, if you're on Facebook and you're scrolling, if you're on Facebook, the way I say to my team is you're in debt. If you're on Facebook, you're in debt. Money is made in the messenger. So that's where you should be. You should be in Messenger having conversations. If you're on Facebook scrolling, like I was only saying to some of my team last week, like I'm rarely on Facebook. I get on Facebook, do my birthdays, loves and comments, bit of interaction work, and then I get out of there and go into Messenger. That's it. I don't get time. People say to me, Laura, did you see that on Facebook? I'm like, no, I'm too busy building my business. So Messenger is where you should be. And that's really where I get my customers. So being a product myself, not over posting about the product, but doing it in my stories, being really consistent, showing up every day. Now, as I said, ladies, it's really, really important to shine the light on who you are, and that when I think of you, do I think of health? Because it is so important. Like we can't shy away from this right now. Juice Plus isn't a cure for anything, but we have the best product in the market for whole food and an immune system. Is it going to help? Absolutely. And so we have a health product right now. We're in the best position possible. So you're going to do 2 things. And I really do believe there's a people who are just going to use this as an excuse and still be in the same place or worse in 3 or 6 months' time, who are not going to eat the right food, are not going to have a routine to keep their kids off of school and have it as an excuse. You know, we're all in the same boat. Or are you going to be the person that still gets up early in the morning, still drinks the water, still does, you know, the healthy food, and you work your business? So remember, like you don't have to make this like really difficult, you know, just got to like use it as an opportunity. So that's how I get my customers, really. And team is much the same then. So how I recruit, again, is like DMO, so speaking to people, reaching out to people, again, stories, and just even lives as well, you know. And again, I think it's really just showing up as you. So I'm going to just say that this is really, really important. I think if you're not listening to positive audios and you're not reading and you're not growing as a person, like I really do believe happiness is progression and growth, and that's really important for me. So if you're not surrounding yourself with positive people, like even getting on these calls, you know, with Amy, and kind of, you know, getting that little zap of energy and that little bit of armor, you know, that juice plus armor before you go back to like the negative, or you chat to your friends or your partner or whoever it may be, you need to zap in and get that energy from the right people. So the people you have in your life, what you're listening to, what you're watching. If you're watching like serial killer stuff on the TV every day, and you expect to get up in the morning and feel like really like positive and inspired, it's just not really kind of happen. I know that sounds really obvious, but you're not setting yourself up for success. So if you're thinking, right, I want NMD, but then you're sitting down for hours watching something that's not going to serve you. I mean, when I was going for NMD, I didn't have time for TV. I don't think I watched TV for a year. So again, you don't necessarily need to want NMD right now, but at the same time, you do need to look at, where does this business come into your priorities? Because you get your priorities in life. So is it your top 3? Is it in your top 5? Is it in your top 10? If it's in your top 10, but you want like SSC or QNMD, that's probably why you're not getting the position. It just comes down to your priorities, and it goes back to your hunger. So like, again, if you want, like, you know, if you're going for SP this month or SC or a bonus position, you've got to change your priorities this month. And it's not something to be scared about. You've got to, like, again, look back in and go, is it an obligation or an opportunity? Are you looking at this as in, I have to now sit down and do my DMO, I have to speak to people, I have to get on that call? What's your language? I cannot wait to get on this call to learn and grow and be inspired. You know, it's all about your language, you know. So that's how I kind of recruit as well. It's just, you know, what I was going to say is, it goes back to your content. Sorry, Amy, I'm going off course there. So what I was saying is that it's really, really important to listen to something positive every morning, to learn, to grow. Find one person, by the way, that is like your person in the network marketing industry that you like to follow, and stick with that one person. Don't keep jumping from person to person and video to video. You'll get confused, you'll get consumed, and it just doesn't work. So for example, I'm a big fan of Ray Higdon and Fraser Brooks, for example, okay? And maybe Amy and you guys have someone that you really like, but say it was Fraser Brooks, then follow him. So every day, go onto one video and learn something new, okay? So half an hour of your day can be spent when you're cooking the dinner, when you're cleaning the house, when you're putting your makeup on, whatever it is, first thing in the morning, first 20 minutes in the morning, listen to something positive as well. So if you did 15 minutes of listening to something positive and then 15 minutes of learning something, so you're upskilling every day. And remember, this is your franchise. Amy's amazing. Whoever your frontline mentor is, you know, I'm sure is amazing. But this is your business. It's your responsibility. So no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to like come and make this happen for you. So it's really important to use your mentor. And I know there was times when I was really struggling in the business and I really pushed my mentor away because it's where I was at. So what I'd say is, stay really close to Amy, whoever your frontline mentor is, appreciate them. And do you know what? After this call tonight, drop them a message and say thank you. Because I really do believe gratitude is really important. And without them sharing this business, you wouldn't even be where you are or have what you have with this business already. But what I was going to say is, it's really important to keep learning and growing, because if you're not inspired, that's going to show in your page. If you're still the same person, you listen to the same thing all the time, you watch the same thing, you do the same thing all the time, you're not going to have this creative process in your mind to have really good content and think of things and reflect. And that's where I think really good content comes from, is like reflecting and journaling and really looking at your growth and being inspired. So it's really, really important. So again, why is this important? Why am I telling you all this? Is because number one, it's part of your journey. Number two, it's part of your mindset. Number three, you have to go through all this to be able to help other people and lead a team and know all this. But also, this is how I get customers and team. Because, you know, I could reach out to 50 people and I'm just doing the numbers and I'm just spamming. But at the same time, people are going to buy into you. So you have to ask, who are you? Like, how are you showing up? it's what you're listening to, it's what you're reading, it's what you're watching, it's the people you're surrounding yourself with, and it's who you become. And you get in life who you are and what you become, not, you know, necessarily you know, what you feel you're entitled to. So it's really about who you become as a person. So Amy, I'll hand it over to you.
This is just amazing, Laura. Like, I'm literally making notes and I can't write quick enough. It's like golden bomb after golden bomb after golden bomb.
Oh, good. I feel like I keep going all over the place, so I'm sorry. I'm like, right.
No, so that's really good. So thank you so much. You've covered a lot and you've given a lot of tips. Just finally, Laura, like, what is your vision for the future and what are you most excited about right now with where we're at right now with the timings of things that are going on, and just what are you most excited about right now?
Wow. What am I not excited about? Like, I'm excited about everything, but I suppose it's just right now we're in such a great position. I'm really excited we really are with the best company, with the best products. We've got a health product. We are really positioned. We've got a home-based business. And if you look at the amount of people that are Googling like home-based businesses right now, it's just insane. We have an opportunity. People are going to join home-based businesses, network marketing, sidelines, plan Bs. You know, they're looking for all of this. And we have the best thing for them. If they're not going to join you, they're going to join someone else. So it's up to you. And, you know, like, if they're not going to join you, they're going to join someone else. So like, if and I really do believe that there's certain people that you're meant to help, but no one else can help also. I do believe there's someone out there this evening that is on their phone that you can reach out to, that is waiting for you, that you can help. And remember, ladies, it just takes one person to absolutely change your life. It takes one person to change your life and see what you see. So never ever forget that. And I'll just finish with this. This business is like a pack of cards, okay? And I done this with my team actually, and I should have mentioned this. We can do it again. But this business is like a pack of cards, okay? And in every pack of cards, you know, there is obviously like the Queen, the Joker, the Jack, and all the numbers and stuff. And what I did with my team one night is I went through a whole pack of cards, and I was saying to them, like, you know, every certain card has like a representation. So for example, you can go through like the 2s and the 3s and the 10s, and it's like, okay, how many people are gonna not start the product and then not join the business, and then they say they're going to do this, and then this happens, and then you get someone that gets their club, and you're like, right, okay, I can do this, and then you go again and you go again and you do the cards and you do the cards and you speak to the new people, and then someone else joins the product and then they don't do anything, and you're like, right, is it me, can I do this? And then you keep going, and then you get someone and they move in the business and they go to SSC, and you're like, oh my god, this is going to happen. And then you keep going. And you know, it's just about, there is in every pack of cards there is your diamond. You just have to get through that pack of cards to get the likes of your Joker. How many Jokers are in a pack of cards? 2. So you have to go through your pack of cards to get your diamonds. What happens with a lot of us, including myself sometimes, is we just doubt ourselves and we stop going through the pack of cards, and we stop. So just view this business, and I can do more of that. That was just a little glimpse of it, but a little bit of snapshot and just a little bit of thought process. But like, think of this business as your pack of cards. You get one pack of cards, okay? You've got your diamonds in there, but it's up to you how quick you're going to get them. You've got to get the no's, the yes, the maybes. Yes, the people that join, they do nothing, they fall off planet Earth. That's fine. You keep going. So you just got to keep going and know that it's not about you, but like, you've got to show up every single day and not make it about you, by the way. So why I'm excited about everything. We have the best positioned product and business. The future is so bright. And you know what the company are doing to open more countries and where this is going, it's just absolutely insane for the next 5 years. And I mean that. It just keeps getting better and better. So I'm so grateful for this business. So just keep working it. And you know, as I said, just plan out your business. Make this a business. You know, you can treat it as a hobby or a business, you decide, but you don't get paid very well for many hobbies, you know, that I know of. So I'd say to you all, just go to a different level right now, because more than ever, you need to show up. Like, if you actually are serious about treating this as a business, do 1 hour every single day and be super consistent and do the DMO. Reach out to people. Are you open? Send your messages, spend money, spend time in Messenger, and just be really super consistent. Use your mentor, and you know, be a product of the product right now, because people need inspiration. And I'll leave you with that.
That's amazing, Laura. Thank you so much. I know a lot of the team are commenting in the chat saying, thank you so much, this call's amazing. So thank you so much for your time tonight, Laura, and for coming on and sharing your story and a bit of a snapshot. So just thank you so much. And yeah, I'm sure we'll do something again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I know my team want more from Amy, and I'd love to see you guys a lot as well. A lot more. I can't wait to meet a lot of you. Like, I know I met Jeanette and some of you guys in the convention, and as I said, you're really lucky to have an incredible leader in Amy. So let's just go and get to work. It's the 1st of April. Make sure you've got them goals written down, send them to your frontline mentor, and be accountable, and let's go and smash April. And I hope to see you all soon, and thank you so much for having me on. I really hope that helps you all.
Thank you so much, Laura.
Bye, everybody. You're welcome.